out isn't a choice, it's a lifestyle. From dissing his day ones over petty drama to sparking wars that leave bodies in the streets, NBA Youngboy has built an empire on conflict. He's turned collaborators into enemies, allies into targets, and the entire music industry into his personal battlefield. For every platinum plaque, there's a police report. For every chart-topping hit, a new rival. This isn't just about rap beef. It's about a relentless, self-destructive pattern of aggression that has defined his entire career. This is the story of NBA Youngboy crashing out. The NBA versus TBG war. Before the world knew his name, Kentrell Gaulden was part of a circle in Baton Rouge. His crew was NBA, for Never Broke Again. A rival but often friendly crew was TBG, Top Boy Gorillas. One of its main members was Garrett Burton, known as Da Real G Money. They weren't just associates, they grew up together, and for a time, they were close. G Money himself said Youngboy was like family, stating in an interview, "He used to be like my little brother. He stayed with me in everything." Their bond was rooted in the shared struggle of the Baton Rouge streets, a connection that seemed unbreakable. But in the streets, brotherhood can be fragile, and as Youngboy's star began to rise, tensions grew. According to G Money, Youngboy got a big head with the fame and money, but the real problem started with a song. G Money released a track with what police would later describe in an arrest warrant as derogatory lyrics about Youngboy's sister. It was a personal shot, a line crossed that couldn't be uncrossed. The beef quickly moved from the studio to social media, where it played out for everyone in Baton Rouge to see. Detectives later noted that in the days leading up to the violence, both rappers made several social media posts about one another, making the tension between NBA and TBG worse.
Was a nigga named Top, they grew up with a dude. Until you noticed one day he thought hating was cool. And then after that, he started fussing with the dude. So he hit him with that K and knocked him out of his shoe.
The online threats and disses were constant, and it was only a matter of time before the digital war spilled into the real world.
When y'all catch me, hear me, do what you do. I ain't worried about no all nigga do it, run they mouth about me, bitch. You hear me? You already know I'm strapped up. I ain't got a post. I ain't worried about none of that. Yeah, that's my little nigga without ever been in his life. Fucking all you. All y'all dumb.
Say, Lil, you know you ain't living like that, man. You get a deal and you done turn to a... When you start doing all that, man, you know you ain't cut like that, man. You know TBG been your muscle, boy. And the same you talking about usually don't live in jail, wherever they at, man. That's the same nigga ran you out of Nouveau in the city, man. Yeah, you remember Will? Yeah, Will's out there. Yeah, you remember you ran out that store, man. You know what's down with us, man. You hear me? Real shit. And I'm living out shit, you hear me? Everything you got with a deal, I got this shit without a deal, man. You hear me? You know, 30 plus on my neck with no deal. Yeah.
On September 10th, 2017, just after 1:30 a.m., G Money was leaving a recording studio in Baton Rouge when he was shot and in the parking lot. He was 22 years old. Because the beef was so public, police immediately looked at Youngboy's NBA crew as suspects. 3 days after the shooting, they brought in one of Youngboy's closest associates, DeAndre Fields, known as NBA Pap, for questioning. Pap told police he moved his mother out of their house after G Money was because he feared retaliation. He tried to give himself an alibi, claiming he was in Hammond, Louisiana, getting gas the night of the... But his phone records told a different story. Cell tower data placed him right there in Baton Rouge, not Hammond.
You are reacting tonight to the arrest of this man, DeAndre Fields. Baton Rouge police say they arrested him years after the shooting of a local rapper, Garrett Burton. Back in 2017, Burton went by the name of G Money. He was found shot in the parking lot on Dallas Drive there. Police arrested DeAndre Fields for second-degree.
A month later, the investigation took another turn when police found shell casings on Jefferson Avenue in Baton Rouge that were a perfect match to the casings found at the murder scene. Detectives believe Pap had given the murder weapon to a group of people living on that street, and his phone records confirmed he had called them just hours after G Money died. DeAndre NBA Pap Fields was eventually arrested and indicted for second-degree. If convicted, he faces a mandatory sentence of life in prison. The death of G Money didn't end the war, it cemented it. The beef between NBA and TBG was now a blood feud, carried on by TBG affiliate Fredo Bang, who was a close friend of G Money. The conflict became personal, rooted in and it would spill over into the music industry for years. In a move of ultimate disrespect, Youngboy announced he was dropping his album Top on September 11, 2020, the exact same day Fredo was dropping his project In the Name of G, a tribute to his fallen friend. It was a direct challenge, turning album release dates into battlegrounds and proving that for Youngboy, the conflict was far from over. The Chicago War, 4KT versus OTF. While the war in Baton Rouge simmered, a new conflict was brewing hundreds of miles away. This one was with Chicago's drill scene, specifically Lil Durk and his collective, Only the Family, or OTF. The face of OTF's street credibility was Davon Bennett, better known as King Von. Von was a master storyteller whose music brought the raw reality of O-Block to a global audience. He was Durk's right-hand man, and together they were an unstoppable force in the industry. On the other side was Youngboy's crew, now often called 4KT, which had its own rising star in Quando Rondo.
Catch a water shot for any reason. Yeah. You heard me? It's gonna be a thing wherever I'm at. Nigga.
The spark that lit the fire between these two camps wasn't over music or territory, but something much more personal. King Von and Quando Rondo used to be friends, but they reportedly fell out after Von was seen with one of Youngboy's ex-girlfriends, Janya Meshel. Von antagonized Youngboy on social media, tweeting out lyrics like, "I ain't finna beef about no bitch dog, she mines too," which was seen as a direct reference to Janya. It was a petty issue, the kind that could have been talked through, but it wasn't. Instead, it festered, fueled by the growing tension between the two crews. On November 6, 2020, both crews were in Atlanta. Outside the Monaco Hookah Lounge in the early morning hours, their paths crossed in a moment that would change the landscape of modern drill music forever. Quando Rondo's camp later claimed they were acting in self-defense, stating that Quando was asleep in a car and woke up to find Von's crew approaching them aggressively. Grainy black and white CCTV footage from outside the lounge appears to show King Von walking directly up to Quando Rondo and throwing punches. As one street culture commentator later explained, this was a line that couldn't be uncrossed in Chicago street culture. If you beat a nigga up in Chicago, he's going to come and want to kill you because now he's embarrassed. "You just humiliated me," he said. The fight exploded into chaos. In the midst of the brawl, a member of Quando Rondo's crew, Timothy Leaks, known as Lul Tim, pulled out a gun and fired. Two off-duty police officers at the scene also opened fire, and for a long time it was unclear who shot who. However, the Atlanta Police Department later clarified their findings in an official statement. At this time, our investigators believe Mr. Bennett was shot during the initial shootout between the two groups of males, prior to police responding and attempting to stop the shooting. King Von was rushed to the hospital, but it was too late. Davon Bennett was pronounced at the age of 26. The news sent shockwaves through hip-hop. King Von was on the verge of superstardom, with his album Welcome to O-Block having been released just a week earlier. Tributes poured in from celebrities like LeBron James and Chance the Rapper, and Lil Durk released his next album, The Voice, as a tribute to his fallen friend. The other side, however, showed no remorse. Lul Tim was arrested and charged with felony. 2 weeks after the shooting, Quando Rondo dropped a song called End of Story, where he claimed self-defense and showed unwavering support for Lul Tim. The song was a slap in the face to OTF and everyone mourning Von. Any chance of de-escalation was gone. The death of King Von was the point of no return. The diss track Apocalypse. In the year following King Von's death, the beef between OTF and 4KT was fought in the comment sections and through subliminal disses. The streets were talking, but the main players were quiet. That all changed in early 2022. Lil Durk dropped Ah Ha, a fiery track that was a clear shot at Youngboy and his camp. With lines like, "They dropping locations, I'm getting it done." Durk was putting the streets on notice. The song was a commercial success, peaking at number 18 on the Billboard Hot 100, proving the public was tuned in and the beef was now mainstream. Youngboy didn't wait. Just hours after Ah-Ha dropped, on February 22, 2022, he released his response. It wasn't just a response, it was a declaration of total war. The track was called I Hate Youngboy, and in it, he didn't just aim at Lil Durk, he aimed at everyone. The nearly 5-minute track was a lyrical burn book, a list of grievances aimed at the entire industry. He went after anyone he felt had crossed him or sided with his enemies. The central diss was aimed directly at Lil Durk and his grief over King Von with the line, "Dissing me, mad about his homie." He then crossed a line that is often considered off limits in rap beef, taking a deeply personal shot at Durk's fiancée, India Royale, rapping, "He called me a that's India, that be your hoe." But he didn't stop there. He took aim at Gucci Mane, a respected industry legend, with the line, "Used to fuck with Gucci till I seen he liked them." The reason was simple. Gucci had just released a song called Rumors featuring Lil Durk, and for Youngboy, that collaboration was a sign of betrayal. Gucci later responded with his own track, Publicity Stunt, dismissing Youngboy's diss as a clout-chasing move. Youngboy also sent a warning shot to Lil Baby and his 4PF crew, rapping, "Baby with them, 4PF, 4 poles firing," implying that by associating with Durk, they were now enemies of 4KT. He even sent subliminal jabs at his former Baton Rouge collaborator Boozy Badazz, who later said on an Instagram story that the diss pissed him off and hurt his feelings.
Pockets full had to come to an end. You know what I'm saying?
When you say of course, I mean, why you say of course?
Because all the shit that be going on and shit. And I had to start learning that, like, other people's actions I could be held accountable for.
Right.
I ain't know all that at first. You know what I'm saying? I never would have went that route, but I ain't know.
Even the streaming giant Apple Music caught a stray, proving no one was safe. The track was a strategic implosion. Most diss tracks focus on one target. Youngboy used his to burn bridges with the entire industry. I Hate Youngboy wasn't just a song, it was a policy of isolationism. It drew a line in the sand and forced everyone to pick a side. A war on all fronts. The war with OTF was his biggest conflict, but it wasn't his only one. For Youngboy, confrontation is a constant. He clashes with collaborators, street rivals, and industry legends with the same level of aggression. On November 16, 2017, Youngboy and Memphis rapper Moneybagg Yo released a joint mixtape, Fed Babies. It was a major collaboration between two of the South's hottest rising stars. The very next day, Youngboy went on Instagram and torpedoed his own project, declaring, "That tape, and I want I ain't playing." It was a bizarre act of professional self-sabotage, turning a partner into an enemy overnight for reasons that are still unclear. In April 2020, another beef erupted, this time with Florida rapper Kodak Black. The conflict started after Youngboy's girlfriend, Yaya Mayweather, the daughter of boxer Floyd Mayweather, was arrested for stabbing another woman at Youngboy's Houston home. From his jail cell, Kodak weighed in, accusing Youngboy of cooperating with the police, one of the most serious accusations in street culture. Youngboy's response was a furious Instagram live rant. "I ain't never pay attention to no nah, especially from no motherfucking cell. Nah," he screamed. "Nah." Saying I cooperated. For what? You stupid bitch.
Ain't never paid attention to especially from no mother cell the watching me for. Then what I say, a say I cooperated. Man, what, you stupid? Huh? About my wife? Huh? About my wife? Say, Ayana, get up. Get up. Come here. You talking about this girl right here? My wife? You talking about my wife? Inside my house that I paid for? Now her daddy, huh? And now daddy, I ain't never accepted not one thing from her in my life. Why?
He even woke up Yaya on camera and proceeded to call her father, Floyd Mayweather, a ass daddy. His crew then fired back by digging up a 2019 report that claimed Kodak himself had cooperated with prosecutors for a lighter sentence, escalating the public battle over street credibility. Just a few months later, in June 2020, Youngboy's house in Houston was robbed. Jay Prince, one of the most respected and powerful figures in Southern hip-hop, stepped in. He tracked down the thieves and recovered Youngboy's stolen property, including the keys to his Rolls-Royce and McLaren. In the world of hip-hop, when an OG like Jay Prince helps you, you show respect. Youngboy did the opposite. It's plenty ways to get in touch with me, Youngboy said on Instagram. Man, don't get on no internet and do no publicity. I'm good on them keys, gangster. Mind your fucking business, man.
Hey, I don't want no friends. I don't want no new relationships. All that pussy ass shit. Hey, I don't respect none of that shit, man. If you got something for me, man, they got plenty of niggas around me you could call. Man, nigga, it's plenty ways you could get in touch with me. Man, don't get on no internet and do nothing publicly. Don't do nothing dealing with no fucking publicity. None of that pussy and shit. And I'm good on them keys, gangster. When you buy shit cash, two keys come with the car anyway. Mind your fucking business, man.
The disrespect was shocking. Jay Prince responded, not with anger, but with a cold, firm warning. You're a dumb boy with limited thinking ability and disrespectful, he said in a video. You're just too dumb to know Texas is my business, and I will give you whatever you ask for, good or bad. The conflict with fellow Louisiana rapper Jay DeYoungin was another example of a relationship turned sour. After some initial confusion over mixtape titles, the beef ignited when Youngboy publicly demanded Jay DeYoungin delete a preview of a song they had together. Jay DeYoungin responded by dropping the diss track 38K, where he took personal shots, including a line about Youngboy's baby mama, Jania.
That shit really happened?
What happened?
You and JD Youngin.
Who that?
Oh, fuck up there. Fuck up there.
They on Cartoon Network.
What you smoking?
The beef simmered for years until July 27, 2022, when Jay DeYoungin was in his hometown of Bogalusa, Louisiana. While no one has been charged in his, fans have pointed to lyrics in Youngboy's subsequent music as subliminal disses, referencing Jay's, continuing the cycle of conflict even after the ultimate price was paid, crashing out on everyone. Youngboy's confrontational nature isn't limited to other rappers. It extends to anyone who crosses his path, including media figures, his own fans, and even his family. In December 2023, rapper turned podcaster Joe Budden gave his opinion on Youngboy's music, stating, "That nah is trash. He's horrible. He is really, 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 really bad." Youngboy's response was swift and venomous. He didn't just defend his music, he made it personal, inviting Budden to his home in Utah, which he calls Gravedigger Mountain.
Argue with your bitch ass, nigga. Hey, bitch, you do all them interviews. Hey, come on, Gravedigger Mountain and talk to me, nigga. You can't, bitch, if you can't do that, man, hey, you bitch made, nigga. Shut your fucking mouth. If you want to.
Stupid dumb bitch. Yo dick don't get even hard no more, clown ass nah, Youngboy ranted on his Instagram story. Bitch, you do all them interviews. Come on to Gravedigger Mountain and talk to me. He had a similar reaction to radio host Charlemagne the God, dropping an entire diss track called Act a Donkey after Charlemagne criticized his views on fatherhood. This volatility often spills over into his live performances, creating a chaotic and sometimes dangerous environment for his fans. At a show in Richmond, Virginia, he jumped off the stage and lunged into the crowd to fight a fan who he felt was being disrespectful. In another disturbing incident at the T-Mobile Center in Kansas City, a 14-year-old fan was charged with assaulting a 66-year-old venue employee after an argument over seating.
It was brutal. It was pretty brutal. He seemed to be a grown man.
That's the man who stopped an attack on a T-Mobile Center employee, pulling off a teen who was landing punches.
The culture of aggression that surrounds his music has real-world consequences, turning concerts into potential brawls. One security guard described a Youngboy concert as the worst experience of her life, citing a disrespectful and out-of-control crowd. Even those in his innermost circle are not immune to his explosive behavior. The incident with Yaya Mayweather, which started his beef with Kodak Black, ended with her pleading guilty to aggravated assault weapon and receiving 6 years of probation. In another shocking moment, he was seen on video slashing the tires of his own Maybach, allegedly in a fit of rage directed at Yaya.
You won't come cut my tire. Slime free. Bitch, I got foreigns all in it.
He has even publicly clashed with his own mother, Shahonda Galden, at one point allegedly kicking her out of the house he had bought for her because he didn't want her having a social media presence. The pattern is clear. No one is off limits. the king of conflict. Through all the beefs, the arrests, and the violence, one thing has remained constant: Youngboy's success. It doesn't just continue in spite of the chaos, it seems to be fueled by it. In 2021, while incarcerated, he released the album Sincerely, Kentrell. It debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200, beating out Drake's highly anticipated Certified Lover Boy. He became only the third artist in history, after Tupac and Lil Wayne, to have a #1 album from jail. His fan base doesn't see the conflict as a flaw. They see it as proof of his authenticity. In a polished industry of curated images, Youngboy is raw, unfiltered, and real. His pain feels genuine, and his aggression feels justified to those who connect with his story. But there is a human cost to this chaos. G-Money is dead. King Von is dead. Jada Youngin is dead. The violence has left a trail of bodies and broken lives. It has led to moments like Yaya Mayweather stabbing a woman, for which she received 6 years of probation. It has created an environment so volatile that his concerts are known for brawls, with both fans and Youngboy himself getting into fights. With a body of work built on pain and a career defined by conflict, Kentrell Gaulden remains one of music's most successful and most volatile figures. He is the undisputed king of a kingdom he built himself, a kingdom of chaos. The question isn't if he'll ever stop crashing out, but if he even can. If you like this video, click one of the windows on either side to watch a video similar to this one.